So let me just go ahead to the last part that is very, very important. As far as till now we have covered a lot of things about Git, which is enough for you to start. Okay, but there are a lot many more things that are there which you need to understand, and that you can learn, as and when you start programming you will definitely come into problems. And the best way to get solutions to problems is use Google. Okay, and most of the times whenever I get stuck on something, I get the solution from either Stack Overflow or uh, such kind of a website. So mainly you can just search in Google and it will give you appropriate answer. Okay, so now the last part that is remaining is how to track issues. Okay, so that is very important, of how issues are tracked. Okay, so let me just show you what I mean by that. Okay, so let me just go back to my repository. Where is my repository? Okay, so these are all my repositories. So let me select which one should I select? Okay, I will select this WDL example one. Okay, so this is the repository that I'm going to look into. Okay, so now once your software is released, many a times, not many the times, most of the times, it is there will be bugs in your software. Okay, now how will you resolve these bugs? Okay, so many of the times you will only find that there are certain bugs, but most of the times it will be your users who are using who will find out the bugs for you. Okay, so because they are using it, so they will find problems with your software, right? So whenever they find any bugs in your software, what they will usually do is they will come over here in the issues tab and they will create a new issue. Okay, so if I create a new issue, I can uh, uh, tell the description of the issue, that what is going wrong. Okay, so let's say uh, major bug, login form not working. Okay, so I can say major bug, login form not working. Your login form does not take characters. Okay, anything. Okay, so any issue that you are facing, you can attach images also over here. So once that is done, you can submit issue. Okay, so right now, since I am creating the issue, it is my name is coming, so whoever is creating the issue, his name will come. Okay, so once that is done, uh, as a developer, I will get an email immediately that saying that a new issue is reported for your repository. Okay, so once that is done, you will be logging in and checking in your account, and you will see, okay, there is a new issue. Okay, so you can see there is one written over here, that means there is a new issue. If I click on this, you can exactly see what is the issue and who created it. Okay, so let's suppose I come over here and I click open, and I find that this is uh, the this is the issue number one. Okay, so this is the first issue, and you can see from here also issue number one, and the name of the issue is major bug, login form not working. Okay, and currently this issue is open. Okay, so now as a developer, it is my responsibility to find a solution to this particular problem. Okay, so now if it's a big project, then obviously you can assign this issue to someone, right? To assign, you can just click on this particular assign tab, and you can see all the collaborators over here. But right now I am the only one, that's why only my name is coming. Okay, let's suppose there are 10 people working on this people, this project, that is there are 10 collaborators, then all the 10 collaborators will be seen over here, and you can assign this particular issue to any of the collaborators. Okay, then you can set a label also. Okay, so the labels label are, there are standard labels available. So right now this is a bug, so I can say it is a bug, and you can see it is labeled as a bug. Okay, and project we are not yet covered, so we will keep the remaining two for the time being like that only. Okay, so now our thing is done. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to work on the code. Okay, so let us work on the code. Let us first I don't think I have this code right now with me, so let's create a clone of this. Let's clone it to our local computer, okay, to resolve the. So this is how it works. Okay, so there are too many folders here. So WDL sample 1. Okay, so this is my folder. Right click. Let's do git bash. Anything will do. Okay, I will do git clone and the address of the repository. Press enter, and it copies it, right? So now if you look at it, I have done a mistake. Now it has copied it inside the folder. So I will just delete it and again run the same command, but at the end I'm going to add a dot. Okay, so what dot does is it copies the clones the repo inside the same folder. Okay, so if I run that, now you can see there is no separate folder created. Everything is created inside the same main folder. Okay, so once this is done, now I want to find out what is the problem. Okay, so there is a problem in this particular file. Okay, let's suppose there is a problem in this particular file. I will open it in any editor. Let's open it in Sublime. Okay, so okay, now some of you may be thinking, "Arey sir, ye kya kar rahe? Text likh rahe." I'm just writing an example. This is not how you actually resolve an issue. You have to actually code. Okay, so I am not writing the code right now because that is not this course all about. This course is about using Git and not how coding is done, right? So I'm just showing you that I have done some coding and I have modified and fixed the problem. Okay, so now once I fix the problem, now I can save it, and now I can do git status, git add, and I will do git commit -m, and here the message is very important. Okay, so the message, I will show you how to write the message. Okay, so fixed issue, and start you have to mention the issue number. Okay, so let's we know the issue number is #1. Okay, so now what is the advantage of doing this? I will show you. Okay, so you should remember, if you are trying to fix any issue, then you should mention, it is a good idea to mention hash and the name or number of the issue. Okay, so if I do this, then I do git push, the code is updated to the server. Okay, now let me go to the code, and you can see I have fixed the login.php is updated. You can see the code, modified login page, perfect. Okay, so now let's go to issues. Now you will see the importance of that, adding that hashtag. Okay, you can see what has happened. So automatically that issue is now, this particular commit that I've done, it is telling me that I have fixed this particular issue with this, with the help of this. Okay, that does not means that it is solved. Okay, it means that something is going on solving this particular issue. Okay, so this gives the creator of the issue like a feedback that okay, some work is going on. Okay, so now once this is done, and if the issue is resolved, what I can do is I can close the issue. Okay, so I can say problem is resolved. Okay, and I can say close and comment. So now this particular issue is closed. Now if I go to issues, now you can see there is no issues pending and I have closed one issue. Okay, so this is what you have to do again and again. You have to keep on checking whether there are any issues in your software. Okay, and you have to find out whether okay, like for example, if I go to any of my packages, you can see I have a lot of repositories. Let me select so let me select this SMS. Okay, so there are no issues in that. I have solved all. Let me go to IndiePay. You can see there is one issue left. If I open that, you can see somebody is trying to request to add Razor Payment Gateway as, okay, and you can see how many issues I have solved. That is very important. This will bring your package up. Okay, so you can see so many issues. There are so many pages also, 3 pages are there. So this is how you have to manage your repository to maintain your code base. Okay. Okay. Shaista is asking, what if we are unable to solve? Very good question, Shaista. It is actually many of the times it happens that there is a bug and you are unable to solve. If you are unable to solve, there is nothing that you cannot solve. Okay. It is possible that some users may request something which is completely inappropriate. So what you can do is you can simply comment there and close the issue without doing any resolution. Okay, like for example, in this particular case, somebody is asking me Razor Payment Gateway implementation, right? So they want, dear sir, can you implement Razor Payment Gateway into this package? It will be nice. Okay, so what I can do is either I can implement it or I can just say I am unable to implement it. In future, if possible, I will implement it and then close the issue. Okay, if that is what you want. Okay, but I will never do that. This, you can see, it is created an year ago. I have not got the time to add that gateway to the package, so you can understand how this works. Okay, any other doubts till now? We will go to the last part, that is projects. Okay, now this projects part is completely optional. If you want to use it, you can use it, but it is very nice feature of GitHub, and I will show you what it does. Then you will understand what is the advantage of using projects. Okay, so let's go to projects. Let me go to a different package. I don't want to mess up with my repository. Okay, where was that project? WD example 1. Okay, so this is the code on which I want to for this repository I want to create a project. Okay, okay, Salik Ansari, difference between commit and tag. Okay, so I have already explained what is the difference between commit and tag. Commit is difficult to remember because the commit ID is random characters, so it is very difficult to remember. But whereas tags is something that you are setting, like version 1.1.0, so that is very easy to remember. Okay, let's just, for an example, I will just run. I have already explained this, but still, because the query was there, I will just clear it again. Okay, I'm running this. Okay, one line. I always forget one. Okay, so you can see what is the difference between the commit ID. This is the commit ID. Okay, and this is the tag. You can see how easy it is to remember the tag. Okay, so tag is nothing but a replacement for your commit ID. Maybe I can say like that. Okay, so tags are much more easier to remember, whereas commit ID is some random number. Okay, it's basically SHA1 hash, I think. So these things are very difficult to remember, and in fact this is the shorter version, that's why it is such a small number. Actual hash, commit hash, will be very big. Okay, so it is difficult to remember that. That's why we tag the software. Okay, so any other doubts? Khan Fazal is asking, sir, forked repo can be sent to someone else or only to the original developer? Only to the original developer. You cannot send it to anyone else. Whoever wants it, he also has to fork it. Okay, so it is not like you can share it with any. You can, what you can do is you can add a collaborator in your repository. If you want to send it to someone else, you can add him as a collaborator. Okay. Okay, so can I go ahead? Okay, so now what are projects? Projects is basically once you start, this is very important when you start developing projects in groups. Okay, so in groups, or in fact in individually also. So in groups, what happens is, normally when you plan your project, you will write down what all things you have to do. Okay, so normally what we do is we take a pen and paper and we write down, and as and when we do the things, we strike out those particular things. Okay, but what if the same thing can be implemented inside GitHub itself directly? Okay, so that is where projects comes into picture. So you can create a project, you can go to projects tab, click on create project, and you can give a project name. Okay, this should be a much more meaningful name. I'm just giving this right now. You can give a description, optional. Then you can select a template. Okay, I like to go for automated Kanban template. You can use basic also. Okay, so what is this Kanban, automated Kanban or basic Kanban? I will show you. Okay, once, let us create the project first. Okay, so once the project is created, you can see what it actually does. Okay, let me just go out little. Okay, so this is how your project window looks like. Okay, so here this is the default layout when you do automated Kanban. Okay, so in which you can see there are 3 windows. One is to do, one is in progress, one is done. Okay, so basically you must have understood from the name itself what these things are. Okay, so basically what all things you remember, that what all things you have to do, that you can note down over here. Then then you can take it from to do to the in progress when you start working on that particular thing, and once that is finished, then you can go to done part. Okay, so let me just remove all these notes that are there already. Okay, let us start fresh from a blank. Okay, so now all the 3 windows are blank. Okay, so let us see how to start. Okay, so to start, you just click on add a note and you add a note basically. Okay, so let's say login page. Okay, so I add a login page. Then I want to work on register page. Then I want to work on forget password page. Okay, so I have 3 tasks now that are there. Okay, so now these are the things that I want to do. I have planned it. Okay, so now I want to work on it. So I don't want to work on. Please mute your mics, whoever that is. Okay, so now let's suppose I want to work on first the login page. Okay, so what I will do, this is not going to do anything. It is basically just to keep a note of what is going on, right? So what I can do is I can just drag it from here to over here. that will tell me that, okay, I am working on login page. Then I will come over here, work on my code, write codes over here, then do commits, everything as usual. And finally, when my that particular login form is ready, I will commit it and then push it to the server. And finally, I will come over here and put it onto the done page. So that finishes my login part. Okay. Then similarly, I will go take the next task, that is register task. Then I will do the same working again. Then I will do the done part. Okay. So this is how you basically manage your projects. Okay. Now this is not the only thing that you can do. This will help you when you're starting to collaborate. Okay. So when you collaborate, what you can do is, these are the tasks that I have added. Similarly, your friends will also add some tasks. Okay. So these all tasks, everybody will be able to see who all are working on what all things. Okay. So in the progress, you can see, okay, myself working on register page, then somebody else is working on forget password. Okay. So when you add this and keep it over here, then somebody else will be working on that particular thing. So that shows the progress of your project. Okay. You can see the progress bar also over here. Okay. So it says 1 done, 2 in progress, 0 to do. Okay. So this is one thing that you can do. Another thing is, let's suppose I will come over here and I will create a new issue. Okay. So basically somebody is trying to add an issue. Okay. So major issue in login form again. Okay. Not yet resolved. Okay. So previously also I have an issue of login form, and again the same issue is there, but instead of submitting the new issue directly, what I'm going to see, you can just look at the flow. Okay. How actually you should handle issues. Okay. So you can define the label. Obviously it is a bug. Okay. Once the label is set, now this is where the projects comes into picture. So you can select the project to which this should be assigned. Okay. So right now there is only one project. I will select that project. Okay. Milestone, you don't need to worry about that milestone. Milestone is basically a target that you want to achieve. So right now we are not going to worry about it. And then here, the issue itself, if you are assigning the project. Okay. So because I am the owner of the project, I can assign this particular issue to someone directly. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, if I click on this, you can see all the contributors over here. If there are 5 members, all 5 members will be there, and I can assign this particular issue to someone. Okay. So let's say I am assigning this to myself. That's it. Okay. So all these 3 things are filled. Submit the issue. As soon as I do that, now if I go to projects, and you can see what has happened. Okay. Automatically a new to do item is come up. Okay. So this to do item, this is automatically come up because you have used something called as automated Kanban. Okay. So in automated Kanban, all the new issues that comes to your project is automatically assigned over here. Okay. So what if you forgot to add? Okay. Let's add one more issue. Okay. Let's create a new issue. Some other issue. Okay. But I do not select anything. Okay. I do not select anything and I submit the issue. Okay. Now let me go to projects. Let me go to the project details. Now you can see that doesn't come over here. Okay. So then where is it? So you can click on this add cards option and you can see this card has come up. You can take it from here and put it in the to-do list. Okay. So this will be now manual because you have not assigned it to a project. Okay. Now, once this is done, now the developer to whom you have assigned, he will take it out from the to-do, put it in progress. Okay. So this is how it will work. Okay. But this also you don't have to do in automated Kanban. Okay, so in automated Kanban I will show you what actually happens. Okay, so let's come back to our repository. This is our repository, and I have been assigned an issue to resolve the login page. Okay, so I will come over here. Now this is the actual flow of how you should handle any issues. Okay, you should not directly, you should never edit the master branch. Okay, right now you can see I am on the master branch. You should never edit the master branch. As soon as you find an issue, your first step should be hotfix. um, let's say hotfix number 2. Okay, hotfix number 2. I created a branch called hotfix number 2. Okay, only 10 minutes left. Let me quickly finish. uh, I have created a branch hotfix number 2. Now I'm going to open my repository login.php. Okay, which page I am in? Sample 1. I will open this in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, and open the login page. You can see there's a bug in this. Now the new bug is resolved. Okay, just sample commit, sample text I have added. Okay, so actually you will be writing the code to resolve this. So once the code is resolved, now this particular thing is over. Now I will come over here. Now I will do git add git commit -m and fixed issue number 2. Okay, so I think this is the correct issue number. Yes, that was the issue number 2. Okay, so it is the second issue. So if I press commit, and now I'm going to do git push. Now if I do git push right now, what will happen? Any idea what will happen? This is very important to understand. The master will be pushed, not the hotfix 2 branch. Okay, but you okay, I have done a big mistake. I think most of you must have noticed what I've done. I have created the branch, but I never went inside the branch. That is sad. Okay, so let me just show you what I should have actually done. Okay, so after creating the branch, I have to do checkout. Okay, so I forgot to check out because I was doing it in a hurry, so I forgot. Okay, so I have to do checkout. So this is very important to understand. This your branch should be in the hotfix branch. Okay, after that you are going to do changes. Okay, so let me do a quick change. Okay, so let me just okay, so I've added a long statement so that we don't do any create any confusion. Okay, so once the file is changed, now I will do git add. Now git commit again. Git commit. I will write finally fixed issue number 2 and commit. Okay, so now if I do git push, okay, I should do git push. If I do git push, it will push master branch, but I want to push the hotfix 2 branch. Okay, now to push the hotfix 2 branch, you have to write the complete push statement. Okay, the complete push statement is origin, that is the name of the server, and the name of the branch, that is hotfix number 2. Okay, if I press enter, now you can see the hotfix branch is now updated. Okay, so hotfix branch has is been updated. Now if I just refresh, okay, so now you can see it is still in the to-do list. Okay, so let's go back to the code and see what happens. Okay, so you can see it is telling me that hotfix 2 has been pushed. Okay, you can create a pull request to merge it to the main repository. Okay, now the very important thing to understand is usually whenever we did this creating a branch and then merging it, we merged it in the Git only. Okay, but when you're working on a big project, you don't merge on the Git. Okay, on this command line you will not merge. You will create a branch, you will push that branch to the server. Okay, and on the Git hub website you will create a merge. Okay, now how to do that? What you will do is you will create a pull request and you will say fixed issue number. So issue number, issue using logging form again. So issue number 2, create a pull request. So I have created a pull request. Now obviously I should go and merge it, but before that let me go to my projects and show you what has happened automatically. Okay, so okay, I think I forgot to do one more thing. If I create a pull request, what I should have done is I should have assigned the project. Okay, I forgot to add it to the project. If I select the project now also it will do. I select the project. Okay, and now if I go back to the project, and you can see now there is a new this thing added, that is finally fixed issue number 2. Okay, so now I have worked on this and I have created a pull request. Now if I go back to pull request and come down over here,
ये मोबाइल को क्या हो रहा है?
ज्यादा गेम खेलेगा तो ऐसे
ऐसा कुछ नहीं. अरे रे.
okay, so now it is saying that this branch has conflicts and must be resolved. Okay, so let us see how to resolve. You all know how to resolve these things, right? So resolving is pretty simple. You just remove all that is not necessary. Okay, and mark as resolved and commit the merge. So this is how you resolve using GitHub directly. Okay, so now you can merge it, and once you merge it, you can see, go back to the project, you can see what has happened. Okay, so this finally fixed issue that was there in progress automatically came to this particular thing, where to the done statement. Okay, and now you can go back to the issue. Now this is resolved. You can see from here all this thing, all the status of your projects, and you can close the issue also because it has been resolved. Okay, so once this is resolved, now if you go back to the project, you can see the thing that was there over here. This is also now over here. Okay, so now that particular issue is completely resolved, and now some other issue is left that you can take up here, and then you can start working on it. You can create another pull request and solve the issue. So this is how this entire process works. Okay, okay, 1 minute left. So as such, all the contents are over from my side. I will have another few minutes for question answer session. All those who want to attend can attend. Otherwise, this course is over. That whatever I had to teach you was done from my side. Okay.